Why, hello, friends. Would you believe that I forgot about you? Because I did. I absolutely forgot about you, which is weird because it's not like there's anything else going on in the world and we're all just busy going about our lives as usual. So I really appreciate you taking a time from your clearly very busy social schedule. I'm sure you have all sorts of clam bakes and barbecues and bonfires and boat things people do on boats. So I really appreciate you taking time from your busy schedule and your lively, thriving social life for this, a tale from some 40 Tales from the Afterlives by David Eagleman. This one's called Graveyard of the Gods. Sounds kind of sexy. Let's see what this is about. Because the afterlife is a form of justice, we may think that it cannot include animals who are not held responsible for their actions. Thankfully, we would be wrong. It would have been a lonely afterlife without animals, and we've discovered the pleasant truth that the hereafter is full of dogs, mosquitoes, kangaroos, and every other creature. After you arrive and look around for a while, it becomes obvious that anything that once existed enjoys a continued existence. You begin to realize that the gift of immortality applies to things we created as well. The afterlife is full of cell phones, mugs, porcelain knickknacks, business cards, candlesticks, dartboards, things that were destroyed, cannibalized naval ships, retired computers, demolished cabinetry, all return in full form to enjoy and furnish the hereafter. Contrary to the admonition that we cannot take it with us, anything we create becomes part of our afterlife. If it was created, it survives. Surprisingly, this rule applies to creations not only material but also mental. So along with the creations that join us in the afterlife are the gods we created. Lonely in a coffee shop, you might meet Reshef, the Semitic god of plague and war. The head of a gazelle grows from his forehead. He gazes wistfully out the window at passers-by. In the grocery store aisle, you may bump into the Babylonian death god Nergal, the Greek Apollo, or the Vedic Rudra. In the shopping mall, you'll spot gods of flames and moons, goddesses of sexual acts and fertility, gods of fallen war horses and runaway slaves. Despite their incognito clothing, they are typically detected by their gargantuan size and such characteristics as lion heads, multiple arms, or reptilian tails. They are lonely in large part because they've lost their audiences. They used to cure disease, act as intermediaries between the living and dead, and dole out crops and protection and revenge for the loyal. Now no one knows their names. They never asked to be born, yet they find themselves ensnared here for eternity. Only rarely is there a local resurgence of belief in an old god, a small clumping of fans, but such bursts are always short-lived. The gods recognize that they are stuck here with their dealt hand of cards, a vengeful personality, fire for eyes, dysfunctional kin, and eternity on their hands. When you begin to look around, you'll discover thousands of them. The Aztec Mictlantecutli? It's not fair to make me pronounce the names of Aztec gods. The Chinese Monkey King, Sun Wukong, the Norse Odin. In afterlife phone books, you can find the rainbow serpent of the Aboriginal Australians, the Prussian Zempat, the Wendish Burstuk, the Algonquian Geech Manitou, the Sardinian Maimon, the Thracian Zibelthierdos. I'm glad I haven't been drinking. At a restaurant, you might eavesdrop on the still cold relationship between the Babylonian sea goddess Tiamat and the storm god Marduk, who once split her in two. She picks at her food and only gives curt replies to his attempts at conversation. Some of the gods are related to one another, others have untraceable genealogies. What they have in common is a proclivity to refuse the free housing offered in the afterlife, although no one is sure why. Most likely it is because they're having a difficult time coming to terms with the idea of sinking to the level of their one-time genuflectors. Instead, at night, lonely and homeless, they cluster in one another's company on the far edge of the city, lying down to sleep in large grassy meadows. If you're interested in history and theology, you'll enjoy walking these fields of gods, this quiet horizontal spectacle of abandoned deities laid in uneven rows to the vanishing point. Here you might run across Batalang Maykapal of the Tagalogs and his main enemy, the lizard god Bakanawa. Having no one who cares about their fights anymore, they now share a lonely bottle of wine. Here you see the god of light, Ati, from the Tuamotu archipelago, and his son Tain, who in his heyday hurled the patricidal lightning bolts of his ancestor Fatutiri. Now the whole family sits around, their vendettas withered and difficult to reinvigorate. Jesus Christ. These names. I'm gonna die, you guys. Look, here's the Maori Tawirimatia, the god of storms and winds, who spent his lifetime punishing his brother deities for separating his parents, Rangi and Papatuanuku, With no more audience, his winds are spent and he plays cards with his brothers under calm skies. Over there you can see Konvum, supreme god of the Bambuti pygmy, clutching his bow made of two snakes, which he still believes might appear to mortals as a rainbow. Here is the Shinto fire god Kagotsuchi, whose birth burned his mother to death. Now the only evidence of his former blaze is a light smoky smell. Like a museum, these fields of gods, this pastoral encyclopedia of mythology, is a testament to human creativity and reification. The old gods are used to watching us here. The new gods are stung by how quickly they slipped from reverence and martyrdom to desertion and tourism. Although the gods choose to congregate together out here, the truth is that they cannot stand one another. They are confused because they have found themselves here in the afterlife, but they still deep down believe they are in charge. They have typically risen to the top because of their aggression, and they still want to claim supremacy over the others. But here they no longer enjoy the peak of a hierarchy. Instead, they suffer side by side in a fellowship of abandonment. There's only one thing they appreciate about this afterlife. Because of their famed vengefulness and creativity in the arts of torture, they find themselves impressed by this version of hell. Not so much sexy. Definitely very, very challenging. I really hope you appreciate the, I would say, absurd lengths I went to try to read the world's most ridiculous names of, I almost said extinct gods, but that seems like the wrong word. Outdated, discarded, forgotten. Anyways, whatever. This is neither here nor there. I've said a lot of words to you. I really feel like our work here is concluded. At this point, you're asking for too much. Have any kind of night. I don't have a good one to give you.